right, headed to do some no time racing again. So we did this back in October, I think it was, and it was a really good time. It was fun. I liked the format of it and all that. So it's Troy Jr. who puts this little race on, and they're doing the same thing again today. So we're headed down, and they have actually a new class that is it's going to be, it's called like street class or something like that, or street style. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a few rules to it that kind of makes it a little more entry level, in quotes. So you got to have like a alternator, you got to have some interior, brake lights, a certain size tire, and all that. So I fit the rules. You know, I have brake lights, I have all that. I have interior, I have door panels, carpet, the whole 9 yards. So I fit those rules. I'm sure there's going to still be some killers in there in that class, but it should be fun, and I just want to try it out. They're having like 3 classes, I think. There's a big one for all the fast guys. It's going to be like they win like $10,000. But anyway, I'm headed down to pick up my buddy, and we're going to head down there and see what it's all about. I don't know how much video I'm going to be able to take there as far as like talking and whatnot, but I'm going to have my buddy Jeff do a lot of the outside of the car videoing. So, all right, well, we'll see what happens when we get down there. Guys, so we made a test hit, and for some reason, well, not for some reason, the nitrous didn't come on. So I set it up in the ECU to turn the nitrous on at around 6,000 RPM so that I could get out of the hole, and then once it reached 6,000, it was going to come on. Well, it never came on because I had a setting wrong in the nitrous setup. So I had it turning off at a certain KPA. So that was kind of a bad run, but I'm not supposed to share the time because this is a no time event. So I took a little bit of heat last time. I shared times, and someone messaged me and said I shouldn't do that. So I'm not going to share the times, but maybe, I don't know, maybe in my next video I will. I don't know. But yeah, it was a pretty average pass. It wasn't that great, but I have it set now to where the nitrous should come on. And yeah, so first round's coming up. We already drew chips. And I'm going to head up there now, and I believe I'm racing another Fox Body Coupe. I don't know much about it. His name's Travis, so yeah, we'll see what happens, see if we can make it through round 1. believe this is the Invitational class, which I think these guys are running for like $10,000. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. There's a 28, an Invitational, a 28, and then the street class, which I just got put out of. So. So here's what we learned last night. We learned that a 64 millimeter Borg Warner turbo will only make 30 pounds of boost on a 2J. It'll make more on a 1J, but on this 2J, it will not make more than 30 pounds. So I did a bunch of different things as far as like adding a lot of spring pressure to the gate, and 100% duty cycle to the gate, and it just won't go above 30 pounds. So right around 310 kPa is where it's just tapped out. It just won't go any further. So the last pass we made, I sprayed the whole entire track. So when I launched, it launched around 55,000 RPMs. And as soon as it hit 6,000 RPMs, the nitrous came on and ran all the way out. So that's why we ran pretty good. Even though we lost, I only lost by about a car and a half. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I was out on him for about 75% of the 8th mile, and he came around me right at the end. So that's just turbo. It just ran out of turbo. So anyway, we have to look into different options with the turbo. It's just not going to, that's pretty much it. We can't get any more out of that turbo. So I need to pull that turbo off and probably put it up for sale. I don't know, maybe eBay or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, but definitely in the search for a bigger turbo. You know, I knew this would happen. I from the get-go, I knew that a 64 millimeter was not going to be enough to make the power that this 2J is capable of. So the fact that, you know, this is it's got the Chinese rods in it and, you know, stock main caps and all that, I do believe I've proved my point that those max speeding rods aren't bad. I can't really, I got a little heat the last video I took. Someone messaged me and was saying, hey man, when you do no time, you're not supposed to be telling your times on video. So I'm not going to really reveal the time, but that last pass, I didn't get a time slip, but I was able to look at the log. And if you look at the log, you know, you can tell when you let your trans brake go, and then I can look at the throttle position sensor of when I let off, and then you can kind of calculate closely what your time was. And it was low 5. So I'll leave it at that. It was the best pass that this car's ever made. So the previous best pass was a 540. So you can imagine it was quite a bit lower than that, but still in the 5s. So, I mean, I think I've accomplished quite a bit with that turbo. I mean, that turbo was never intended to be on this car. It just happened to, I had it, and I slapped it on there to see what would happen. Partly because, you know, if you watch my old videos, you'll see that the rods are rated for like around 800 horsepower. This turbo is rated for 800 horsepower. So my thought process was that turbo will keep me safe. The turbo, you know, I won't be able to push it too far to where I'm going to be breaking those rods. So it's kind of like a safety measure. But at this point, we got to do something different, because if I want to progress with this, you know, we're gonna have to take this thing apart, do rods and main caps, and get a bigger turbo. So that's the plan. I need to first get rid of some things. I don't know. I've got so many parts. I got 1J parts. I got 1J blocks. I got 302 blocks. I've got short blocks over here that I can sell. I've just got so much stuff that I want to kind of liquidate to maybe offset the cost of some good rods, better turbo, and do the billet main caps. So, you know, I can't really push this. I mean, it's probably making around 800. The other thing I found out was the weight of the car. I've never weighed the car. Some of the no time guys are kind of funny about that too. They don't want to know. They don't want you to know what their car weighs. But I don't care. I'll reveal it. Without me in it, full weight with fuel and all the fluids and everything, this car is 2390. So I had guessed that it was 2400, and I was only 10 pounds off. So it's pretty light. I mean, the car's pretty light. I mean, there's not a lot of lightweight stuff on it. Still has a steel hood, you know, steel deck lid, steel doors, all that. It's just, everything's gutted. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, because I wanted to put a lot of the other footage in there of other cars running, because it was a really cool event. Some really fast cars, some ones I really liked. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. And definitely, I like the no time stuff. The no time stuff is for me. I like the format. I like that it's 8th mile. I like that there's no nonsense. You draw chips and you go race. You know, there's no like looking over your car, making sure everything's, you know, up to the rules. It's just, it's kind of like an honor system, and I kind of like that. And, you know, anyway, Troy puts on a good event. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Check y'all later.